It's a valid question whether as men we should ignore and deny our feelings, label them all as unhelpful, and rely purely on our thoughts to be as effective as possible. Often, by society and even by ourselves, our emotions are leveraged against us to make us weaker. Our sadness, our avoidance of pain, and our feelings that reflect a need for achievement, fulfillment, and love is leveraged through many kinds of addictive behaviors, most commonly video games, food, and porn. To ourselves, we leverage our own feelings of shame against ourselves, perpetuating the shame cycle and our feelings of happiness as incongruent with our identity and justify self-punitive action or emotion. These problems question that maybe we would be better off not feeling at all, or trying to feel less. So, should men feel? Those who deny their feelings become disconnected to them, and identifying them becomes nearly impossible. This might be the goal, but when our emotions are poorly calibrated, not being aware of when we are in an emotional crisis causes a directionless, fatalistic mindset, because doing our best or achieving results is not reinforced by positive emotion, but instead punished with negative emotion we are unaware of. Additionally, without being aware of them, we will not have strategies to cope with intense emotions and default to poor coping strategies like addictive substances and behaviors. Being at least aware of our emotions will make us better equipped to deal with life. We are presented solutions to our emotions through consumptive behaviors in society. But what emotions does society encourage in men, if at all? Encouraging positive emotion would inflate feelings of self-importance and would lead to an increase in power in men, so it isn't socially encouraged. Women are encouraged for most positive emotions because it aligns with the feminist movement of empowering women. Take, for example, when a woman posts a self-inflating social media post and is encouraged to feel and act in a way with comments like, "Yes, queen, slay bitch." There is no social encouragement of empowering men or validating their positive emotion, even if it might lead to more positive growth and output and make life easier for women and children and not just for men. Negative emotion is also not entirely encouraged. I'm sure you've heard men are told nowadays that it's okay to cry. Sadness is about the only emotion that is directly encouraged in men, and is also the emotion that is most likely to make one weaker and inactive over time, as with depression. If negative emotion was encouraged entirely, it would have to include anger, which is strongly discouraged in society, because if channeled incorrectly, it can cause destruction and danger in society. However, anger can still be a valid emotion and have its place in men who create a positive, constructive society. In our current society, we only encourage the emotions that make men weaker, but not the ones that make them stronger. So we choose to feel, and society encourages us to act only on the feelings that make us weaker. But should we even act on our emotions, even anger? If we act on our immediate emotions, we will take the easiest possible path, the one with the least emotional resistance. We will cry, be a danger to others, and indulge in instantly gratifying behaviors. But if we don't act on them at all, or even recognize them, we will end up uncalibrated and unfeeling, which is almost as bad. So what should we do with our emotions? That which is outside of our locus of control is not worth feeling emotion for. It's simply the way of nature. That which is within our control, we should feel intensely about, but not act on immediately. We must plan and use these emotions, especially anger and happiness, to fuel ourselves towards our desired vision of the future. This is an infinite source of fuel and energy, and the only one we should rely on other than our normal physical needs like sleep, diet, and exercise. We shouldn't use external validation as fuel, since it is finite and fleeting. Sadness, we should try not to act on, but reflect on it as a signal of past error and longing for a different reality where we could change what is out of our control. We should not shed a tear, except in our darkest moments, of regret of unfortunate life events when we need that ever so peaceful release of built up unused emotion. This approach is the way we can use our emotions to become stronger and more capable men.